We have officially arrived in the Dry Tortugas. We left Key West about 6 a.m. this morning, motor sailed for 70 miles, and arrived around 4 p.m. We anchored on the west side of the island, and we get to watch the sunrise over the fort every day. It's kind of surreal to be back here, honestly. This is where it all started for us. This is where the idea sparked. And to be back here again, it's like full circle. We have like this huge sense of accomplishment. Like, we did this. We had a goal and we had been working towards it for 2 years. All the stress, all the worrying, all the moving, all the money, all the sacrifices, it has all been worth it to be here right now. I mean, this place is like a fairy tale. Like, it doesn't seem real. Look at this water. Look at this massive brick fort in the middle of the ocean. And then imagine having it all to yourself after like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I am beyond excited.
Wave.
I love you, Mommy.
I've never heard of any rules saying we can't go through the boat.
Oh my God, that captain would have a fit.
You wouldn't even know we did it. We'd be underneath them.
They'd see you coming and going.
Looks like the anchorage over here opened up.
Yeah, it did.
They're right there? Oh yeah! Those pink binoculars work pretty good. Amazing. How did it feel to step foot on Dry Tortuga again? Does it feel good?
Yeah, it's like we talked about before, it's like full circle, you know? Like, this is where it all started. And here we are, 2 years later.
The Dry Tortugas National Park is about 70 miles west of Key West, and it is one of the least visited national parks in the country. That's because it is only accessible by a private boat, a ferry, or seaplane. It's most known for its crystal clear water, active sea life, and lots of birds. The national park covers over 67,000 acres, but 99% of that is actually underwater. There are 7 islands in the Dry Tortugas, 2 of them being open to the public. Garden Key, which is home to the fort, and Loggerhead Key, which is about 3 miles west of Garden Key, and even more secluded and pristine.
Where we going tomorrow?
Do the right hand right there. So we don't.
And what are we gonna do when we get there?
Come,
Swim on what?
pretend with that bathing suit.
On the what?
On the bathing suit.
We're gonna wear bathing suits, but what are we gonna be swimming on? What are we gonna be swimming on?
The beach. We're not swimming on a beach. That's impossible.
We saw all that today, didn't we?
Loggerhead Key is actually paradise. For lack of a better word, it is paradise. This is the single most beautiful beach I have ever stepped foot on, and it is now the bar. We had this whole beach, actually we had the whole island to ourselves all day, and it was amazing.
looking at. Mom is looking out of there.
Yeah, we'll look and see.
Open sesame, Mom. Open sesame, open sesame. The ocean. I
Were you breathing down there?
Yeah. I like breathing down there too.
the water?
Like how deep? Like this deep? Or like this deep?
Like 180 foot deep.
180 foot deep? And you was down there on the bottom breathing? How'd you do that?
Are you a mermaid?
No.
Well, how was you breathing underwater?
So
You're a merman.
I was this baby.
What do we call that?
But I was this
What's
baby.
that called?
Fifth one.
The fifth lung?
And then I was
Fourth
in the
one?
mouth. And so you put this in your mouth. Like that.
And breathe through it.
And then you go.
Show them how you breathe through it. You can breathe through it.
Okay. And put this in your mouth.
That's good. Stop. That's good.
So you do this. Then
And you can breathe underwater? I think you got it upside down. Yeah, there you go.
I wish you could hear what Brent is saying right here. He sounds so much smarter than me, but the wind was just too loud. He was explaining to Wes about the stalagmite formations and that they taste like salt and that they come from the dripping water from the cracks. All right, history lesson. The Spanish explorer Ponce de Leon, you might have heard of him. He was the first one to discover these islands back in the early 1500s. He gave it the name the Island of the Turtles. Later, the word dry was added to indicate that there was no fresh water on the islands. Pirates used these islands as a home base in the 16 and 1700s. They would attack merchant ships and retreat to the Dry Tortugas and, bury their treasure, I guess. The U.S. acquired the Dry Tortugas when they bought Florida from Spain back in 1821.
do they have a bathroom?
This whole area was notorious for shipwrecks back in the day because of this massive reef system from here to the Keys, which is great for snorkeling, not so great for old school ships with no navionics. They built the lighthouse in 1825 on Garden Key, but ships still kept crashing, so they built a bigger lighthouse on Loggerhead Key in 1858. The masonry fort began construction in 1846 and went to 1875 and is one of the largest masonry forts in the US. All right, here's a quick side note. My stepdad was actually a brick mason, so I grew up watching brick houses and columns being built, so I have a really strong appreciation for masonry in general. And he passed away, my stepdad Mark passed away right before this trip. That's actually why the kids and I did not go on that first sail with Brent when we closed on the boat a few weeks ago. So seeing all this brick and all these arches, I just can't help but think of him right now. All right, so back to our history lesson. Fort Jefferson was never completely finished or even fully armed. She is made of 16 million bricks that had to be shipped in, along with all the other food and supplies for the people who lived at the fort, which at one point reached 1,700 people. I think about what we had to do, all the provisions and all the supplies, just for our family for 1 week. I can't imagine what it was like back then. And so from what I understand, Fort Jefferson never really saw any battles, but was more of a strategic point for the U.S. defending the Gulf of Mexico and the U.S. shipping lanes. It was also used as a prison during the Civil War, the most famous prisoner being Dr. Samuel Mudd. He was the guy that tended to John Wilkes Booth after he shot Abraham Lincoln. Remember he jumped down or fell down on the stage and broke his leg? Anyway, in the early 1900s, after a series of hurricanes and fires, the fort was sadly abandoned. The Dry Tortugas was established as a national park by President Roosevelt in 1935, and it was used again during World War II by the U.S. Navy. But since then, it has been a paradise for sailors like us to stretch their sea legs.
Boys, roll! Boys, roll!
Oh, the Seaplanes. This is how we first came to the Dry Tortugas 2 years ago. The Seaplanes start coming in around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, 2 planes at a time, 4 times a day. The last plane leaving around 3 or 4 o'clock, which again, we had the whole place to ourselves when they left. So cool to watch them come in and out every day. And this is the day that I learned you can get seasick on anchor. Yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. A lot of people have asked about seasickness and how we deal with it or what we do for it. Anna and I actually both get pretty seasick. I have found that meclizine, the brand name for that is Bonine, that works the best for me. I believe Anna prefers the Dramamine. But even then, you can still feel queasy sometimes after taking the pills. I have used the scopolamine patches, but I don't really like them because they make your vision so blurry that you can't read and you have to wear reading glasses. And I have a reaction to the glue, so I end up with a little round welt behind my ear. We are beginning to realize the extent of our power problems. We would turn the generator on once a day, sometimes twice, to charge our batteries. Without the generator running, we only had enough power to keep the refrigerators on, the lights at night, and our pumps. Basically, Brent had to turn the inverter off, so we had no 120. The inverter itself actually uses a ton of power. But with the generator on or the engines running, we could turn the inverter on and we could use all of our 120, which includes outlets, the washing machine, the microwave, hot water, the TV, all of our navigation stuff, Raymarine, wind, radar, depth, and of course, the coveted Starlink. So we were able to communicate with the outside world for an hour or two a day, but other than that, there was no service, no Wi-Fi, nothing but us. And it was kind of nice, actually.
Mommy, then what I need. Mommy, then mommy.
You want me to come in the water with you?
Yeah, mommy. See, mommy. See, mommy. Mommy.
What, baby?
And then mommy goes down and I hug them.
Yeah, we're gonna go inside Fort Jefferson.
Okay.
Over here in the hole!
This is our last day in the Dry Tortugas. So we are swimming and exploring one last time. It is bittersweet leaving this place. This is where it all started for us, and this has been an epic trip, like a trip of a lifetime. I'm already looking at the calendar, trying to figure out if and when we can come back. But honestly, it will be kind of nice to get back to civilization for a little bit. We are still newbies, and our boat is not equipped for long-term off-grid living. Not yet, anyway. But yeah, we are heading back to the Keys. We're gonna meet up with some family, check out the Marquesas, and then there's talk of heading to Bimini. Thanks for watching till the end. If you liked this video, hit the like and subscribe button.